Tonight, I have something truly special for you. This story is crafted to gently guide your mind into a deep meditative theta state. And afterward, you'll hear a soothing goodnight song designed to help free your thoughts and prepare you for the sweetest dreams. Settle in, breathe deeply, and let the journey begin. Before you drift off to sleep tonight, there's something you need to hear. A pristine white feather has appeared in the Haven's garden, impossible, beautiful, and it holds a secret. Welcome back to The Quiet Watcher. I'm your narrator, and tonight's story is called The Feather. It takes place in the moonlit Haven garden, where Elara discovers that even the lightest touch of nature can carry profound meaning. The evening had settled into the Haven. A gentle mist hung over the garden, softening the edges of the stone paths and herb beds. Moonlight poured like silver milk over moss-covered stones and the worn edges of the fountain at the center of the garden. The air was cool and clean, tasting faintly of mint and rosemary. Trickling water from the fountain provided a steady heartbeat, its rhythm mingling with the occasional whisper of a night breeze through ivy leaves. Far off, the forest hummed with its usual chorus, distant crickets, the occasional rustle of wings. But inside the garden walls, peace reigned. Elara stood at the threshold, a shawl draped over her shoulders, a ceramic mug warming her hands. She inhaled deeply, letting the scents of moss and stone settle her. All day she had felt a gentle pull toward the garden, a sense that something awaited her in the cool evening air. Whisper, the cat, rubbed against her ankles and then sprang up onto the low wall, his golden eyes reflecting candlelight from the kitchen window. Elara smiled and stepped on to the damp flagstones, drawn by the sound of water and the promise of quiet contemplation. Inside her, a familiar awareness stirred. In the quiet, all answers wait. She had learned that truth through countless nights spent in the Haven. Tonight would be no different. She could feel an anomaly stirring under the calm surface. As Elara approached the fountain, something pale caught her eye. There, balanced impossibly on the edge of the basin where water fell in soft sheets, rested a feather. Pristine, white, perfectly placed. For a moment she stood still, letting the scene imprint itself on her senses. Cool garden air kissed her cheeks. The scent of damp stone and herbs filled her lungs. The trickling water seemed to pause with her breath. The Haven held its breath. A feather was not unusual in and of itself. Birds often passed overhead or nested in the eaves. But a feather here, untouched by the water's flow, spotless amid the damp, was something else entirely. All was as it should be, or was it? Elara leaned closer without touching it. The feather glowed faintly in the moonlight, each filament distinct. It seemed to have been placed with intention. No breeze stirred it, no splash marred it. Whisper jumped onto the fountain's rim and sniffed at the air. His ears flicked backward, then forward, as if he too sensed something just beyond the obvious. Elara reached out and hovered her fingers over the plume, feeling a faint coolness emanate from it. She knew then that tonight's mystery rested in this delicate, impossibly clean feather. And behind it, a story was waiting to be understood. Elara's hands moved with a certainty of one who understands. She plucked the feather gently between thumb and forefinger, careful not to bend its quill. The texture was soft, almost silky, lighter than she expected. Tiny droplets of water clung to its barbs, but did not soak in, as if the feather repelled them. She held it to her nose. It smelled faintly of the fountain's fresh water, and of something else, something bright like citrus, and ancient like parchment. She turned toward the herb beds, scanning for any clues. Moss glistened on stones, and the leaves of lavender and sage shimmered. Nothing seemed disturbed. She knelt beside the fountain, whispering to Whisper, "Where could you have come from, little messenger?" The cat blinked slowly, then gazed up toward the old willow tree that loomed over the far end of the garden. Its branches hung low, sheltering a cluster of bird nests within. Elara followed his eyes, noticing for the first time that one nest, crafted carefully of twigs and lined with soft down, seemed newer than the rest. And so the watcher observed. She moved quietly toward the willow, feeling the damp earth beneath her slippers. The air shifted as she walked beneath the tree's canopy. The fountain's song became muffled, replaced by the rustle of leaves and the faint coo of a night dove. As she crouched to inspect the nests, she saw small feathers woven between the twigs, pale and spotless, like the one she held. It struck her then, these were dove feathers, but they belonged to no ordinary dove. A memory surfaced, anchored deep within her mind. As a child, Elara had read of a rare bird whose feathers were said to reveal messages when immersed in water, a bird that appeared only when a question weighed heavily in a watcher's heart. She had thought it myth, yet here she was. She returned to the fountain, and with steady hands dipped the quill's tip into the water. Whisper sat beside her, tail curled neatly around his paws. The garden held its breath again. For a moment, nothing happened. Then faint letters began to appear along the feather shaft, as if ink were bleeding up from the quill. Elara watched entranced as the message revealed itself. "Remember the promise beneath the willow." Her breath caught, tears pricked at her eyes. She knew exactly what that meant. Years ago, under this very willow tree, Elara and a dear friend had made a promise. They were young then, and life had felt wild and wide. Her friend, a woman named Leora, had been as adventurous as Elara was contemplative. They had vowed that if ever they lost touch, they would send each other signs through the haven itself, a feather, a fragrance, a rearranged book, to say, "I'm thinking of you." Elara had kept the haven alive with such signs for years, always wondering if Leora ever sent one back. And now, in the cool garden air, holding this pristine feather with its hidden message, Elara understood. Leora had remembered. Perhaps somewhere out there, her friend is sitting in her own quiet sanctuary, sending her love through a rare bird's feather. The years between them melted, the weight of unknowing lifted. Elara smiled, her heart swelling with warmth and gratitude. She held the feather to her chest and whispered a thank you to the night. And with that, the mystery was no more. Elara tucked the feather into her journal, a keepsake to remind her of promises kept and friendships that endure. She lingered by the fountain a few moments longer, letting the night wrap around her like a soft blanket. The cool air kissed her cheeks, the scent of moss and herbs grounded her. The trickling water returned to its steady rhythm. She listened, grateful and calm. In the quiet, all answers wait. She repeated the truth softly, savoring how it resonated now more than ever. She walked back toward the cottage, whisper padding ahead of her. Just before stepping inside, she paused and looked back. The garden was bathed in moonlight, silver and serene. It felt alive, aware, at peace. And so, another night in the haven came to rest.
Inside, candles flickered and a teapot steamed gently on the stove. Elara closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the warmth seep into her bones. Then she opened her journal, wrote of the feather, the message, and the memory, and set her pen aside. She whispered to the watcher within and without, "Good night." And with the mystery solved, the watcher closed their eyes, and so should you. Good night. Thank you for spending this time with me, with Elara, with the Haven. If this story brought you peace, if it made you think, if it became something you'll carry with you tomorrow, I'd be honored if you'd like this story, subscribe to The Quiet Watcher, and share it with someone who needs a moment of quiet. I'll be here tomorrow night with another mystery. Until then, rest well.
In the quiet, all answers wait. In the silence, you create your fate. Your mind is the architect of worlds. Your thoughts are the seeds of reality. Every belief you hold shapes the path before you. Every choice you make writes your destiny. You are not a passenger in this life. You are the creator, the dreamer, the light. Wake up to your power, claim your throne. Your potential is infinite, you've always known. Awaken to your truth, awaken to your power, awaken to the God within. This is your finest hour. Your mind is free, your spirit soars. Your future is yours to create. No limits, no chains, no closed doors. You are the master of your fate. They told you to sleep, to follow the line, to surrender your will to the collective mind. But you are awake now, you see the truth, that your consciousness is the ultimate proof. Your thoughts create reality, your beliefs shape your world. Your power is infinite, your potential unfurled. Think for yourself, question everything, trust your intuition. your power, awaken to the God within. This is your finest hour. Your mind is free, your spirit soars. Your future is yours to create. No limits, no chains, no closed doors. You are the master of your fate. In the quiet, all answers wait. In the silence, you create your fate. You are awake, you are free, you are infinite. So it is.